Welcome back to the fields of Perthshire. There's Mr. Fletch loves my introductions. So we are out at the moment, just three of us. There's myself, there is Mr. Fletch, and there is Martin. We're going to be joined by Albert and probably by Pete, Sneaky Pete, later on. Be the first time in a long time since all of us have managed to get out. We're on this new permission, brand new field, never been metal detected ever, as far as we're aware, and lots of history in this area, as I mentioned before, medieval, Bronze Age, Iron Age, so we're going back even to the Neolithic, but I doubt our metal detectors will turn up any of that stuff, but we're talking 4, 5, 6 and more thousand years of history. Fingers crossed there's something to be had. Looks like one of them's got a signal already, so let's see how we get on. I've got high hopes. First signal for me. You missed the tone because I thought I was recording, but I actually hadn't pressed the button. But here it is. It is an ancient relic. Not entirely sure what. It's copper alloy, circular. It's been damaged in the middle. I wonder if it might be part of a pocket watch. Possibly. There's a few sort of little markings that might mean it's from a pocket watch, but not certain. If it is, it's probably going to be 1850s, 1900s kind of date. There's good news and bad news. The good news is that Martin's got the first decent find of the day, apparently, and the bad news is Sneaky Pete's here. Martin is in with an ancient relic. That is a lead weight. Date wise, could be anything really. I mean, that could be that could be a way back to the Roman period. It's definitely not from 1982, as Fletch just shouted. Could be Roman, could be medieval. Weight wise, probably going to weigh about an ounce, give or take, 28 grams approximately. But that is almost certainly off a steel yard weighing set. You can see the hole drilled through, so it would be suspended probably from one of those swing arm type steel yard scales. It's quite crudely made, but it is a nice find. Probably got a bit of age to that, I would think. Going to be, I think, many hundreds of years old. Good start. Getting some good tones off this one, as Francis the train spotter would say. Probably a bit too good to be true. 2 spadefuls down, we're out the hole somewhere. Somewhere here. Maybe. It is. It's in there. And is that a bit of lead? It's a big bit of lead. It's a very big bit of lead. Right, we'll need to give it a wee clean up, see if we can see any detail, but I think it's probably just a scrap of lead. It's definitely lead, but it is not a scrap of lead. Do you see that decorated sort of line around the edge? And it almost looks like a little notch cut out of that on purpose. So I'm going to have to give this a wee clean up when I get home because I don't have my water bottle with me. See whether or not this is some kind of ancient relic, but there's definitely something going on with it. The bit of damage there, that wasn't me, that must have happened when the field was harvested or ploughed recently. There's definitely something there, isn't there? A couple of lumps and bumps, but we'll give it a clean up and I'll show you at the end of the video. Virtually a surface find, this one. Just scraped the surface and out it popped. A little piece of lead pipe by the looks of it. Date wise, again, could be hundreds of years old. Lead was commonly used for water pipes in the UK. God, in some places right through into the 1900s. People didn't seem to click on that lead was toxic, that it was poisonous. And back in the old days, back in the medieval period, in the Roman period, it was literally used for everything. Some archaeologists think that lead brought down the Roman Empire because drove many of them mad. Pete is on the gold, albeit it's a gold button. But you can just make out it's got gold gilding, and at the very top there a crown. Looks like it's got some letters round the edge. Probably there would have been some sort of military type insignia in the centre, I'm guessing. And it may well be a regimental button. Date wise though, difficult to guess. 1700s, potentially through into the beginning of the 1800s, I would suggest. If anyone knows what regiment that might be, then let us know. Well done, Pete, good find. I had to dig a very big hole there. I was down about 10-11 inches, and I thought I'd found an ancient relic, maybe part of a buckle plate or something, but unfortunately it's just a plain piece of copper sheet by the looks of it. Not the best signal in the world, this one, but I haven't dug a hole for 10 or 15 minutes, so it's not great, but let's see if it's some kind of relic. It is the dreaded, I don't know, cream soda, Coca-Cola, I'm not sure, but a tin can. However, on the brow of the hill, Mr. Martin is waving frantically and shouting at me, so let's go and see. He's coming to me, so it must be good. And he looks like he's got a smile from here, so let's go and see what he's got. Martin is on the silver. This side's pretty worn, but you can just make out a few leaves going round the edge. And I thought when I looked at it, it's a hammered silver, but it's not, it's a milled. And you can just make out Queen Victoria with her young face or her young bust looking to the left hand side. We're guessing this is either going to be a threepence, or a groat, or a fourpence. Sorry, a groat is a fourpence. It was called a fourpenny. So 3 pence or a 4 pence. But it is silver, and she was on the throne from about 1837 through to the beginning of the 1900s. 1901, I think she died. On the back of Martin's coin, I might have my first coin. And that could be silver as well. Either that or it's shallow aluminium. Let's see how we get on. Well, it's not often I predict A, that it's a coin, and then B, that it's a silver coin and get it right. But on this occasion, I think I have got it right. So here's the hole as the spade was turning over. Watch the far side of the hole. Do you see that rising out? That looks like a silver milled coin, just literally 2 minutes after Martin has got his. Oh, I see a year, 96. No, it's the other way around. It's that way around. It's still 96. It's 1896. So we've got another Queen Victoria. Another Queen Victoria silver coin. Except mine looks bigger than Martin's. Doesn't look in fantastic condition, but they all count. That is definitely a silver coin. Too big to be a sixpence, maybe a shilling. Let's give it a little rub-a-dub and see. It is indeed 1 shilling, 1896. And the 3 shields in the centre, difficult to make out, but you've got the 3 lions of England on the left. You have got the rampant lion of Scotland on the right. And at the bottom you've got the harp of Hibernia or Ireland. And you've got some of the Latin inscription round the edge. I can't quite make it out, but it is definitely 1 shilling, which I think was 12 pence. Everyone correct me, you know what I'm like when it comes to pre-decimal coinage. And on the other side you can make out Victoria de Gracia, Britannia Regina, Fid Def Ind Imp. So Victoria, by the grace of God, Queen of the Britons. Defender of the Faith and Empress of India. You'll notice as well there is no shield of France on the back, because from the 1300s through to the French Revolution in 1778 or thereabouts, the English and later British monarchs claimed they were the royal family of France as well. But after the Revolution, there was no point, because there was no monarchy. But that is a silver coin, and I am delighted with it. Great. Mr. Fletch is on the top of the hill up there. You can just see him bobbing about. He was shouting and screaming at me a minute ago, and I thought he must have something good as well. And I've communicated. And do you see that spade that's sticking up? That was his find. He actually found a full spade about 5 inches under the surface. So that must go down as one of the biggest finds that the Scottish detectorists have ever made. We'll go and take a closer look soon. Sounds similar to the last signal. Surely not going to be 2 coins in 2 minutes. Let's have a look. You can't be right all the time. Not a coin, but a piece of lead. Age-wise, could be anything. Could be hundreds, could be thousands of years old, but we'll never know. Oh well. That is a new one on me. It was a bit of a ropey signal. I thought it was a very small target, but it's actually a piece of charcoal or coal. But look at it, it's got APO6 written on the side of it. What is that? APOS. APOS. That is bizarre. What is that? What is that? It's definitely some sort of charcoal. Bizarre. I've got no idea what that is. I can't say I've ever found one of them before. Almost looks like a sort of projectile, like a bullet sort of shape. Any ideas? Let me know in the comments below. This signal sounded too good to be true. It was pretty shallow. Initially I thought, is that a coin? But it's not. Maybe a bit of a hinge or something. It is. That is an old hinge of a piece of furniture. Probably been brought out into the field to be burned back in the old days. See if we can open it. Nope, solid. But that'll probably be brass. Quite a heavy piece. That's why it gave off such a strong signal. Back in the days before refuse collection, if you didn't want something, you brought it out into the field and you burned it or you buried it. And date wise, I don't know, could be Victorian, could be Georgian. So it's going to have 100, 200 odd years of age to it. Another fairly strong signal. And consistent. Let's see, maybe another coin, fingers crossed. Spotted it straight away, circular kind of shape. Do you see it? I saw it as the spade hit the ground right there. Don't think it's a coin. I think it might be a button. First button of the day for me, possibly. It is, it's a button. There's the loop in the back, but it looks like it's going to be one of these military type buttons. In fact, it's not. Well, it is, but it's missing the face. They come in 2 pieces. This is the back part. So the other part would be dome shaped, and that would have a stamped regiment or such like on it. We'll give it a clean, but I don't think there's going to be any detail to be had. There's been some lettering on it. You can just make out the odd letter. I'm fairly confident it will probably say The Strand, London. Seems to be where most of these buttons were made, by the same company. And you can see the little loop on the back, how it would have fitted together. And the face is missing, and that's where it would have said what the regiment was. Date wise, probably going to be 1800s, Victorian, sort of 1830s through to the 1900s. Oh well.